What's up, y'all? In case you ain't get it, not only have I been predicting, solar events and events on the Earth, probably shaking the Earth and the heavens and all that to the hour, right? And that's why I don't do this that often. Literally, I take 2 months off. Things continue to happen. Typical days, typical hours. And then I do this after 2 months. And then literally last time, 2 months ago, to try and counteract the positive effect that the devil did a shooting against people of color in New York, and there are all these other shootings all over the fucking planet. Ridiculous. They're getting that exactly. Not only do I get these earth events, and just like the scripture said, they would lose their minds because of these effects. And then they would go to war and all that. That's how I was able to predict they were going to go to Ukraine. Like, they just love this drama, man. They're the negativity for some fucking reason. They're trying to keep us down with this negativity. But this time, after 2 months, on the 4th of July, they do a shooting. And then it's literally less than an hour away from the time of when I talked about this. I post this online, and within an hour, this fucker, that's just evil ass shit. I try and counteract the positivity. And in case you didn't know it, they took out my grandmother the same fucking day. At first they did this when I posted about increasing the power. And then when I made a video about it, they fucking, like, that's like when my grandma passed away. What kind of evil shit is this? What kind of blackmail is this? Making me like, they're killing people to try and make me feel like, it'd be like, if you do any more powers, we're gonna fucking kill you. And yeah, my grandma is literally the most powerful person I've ever met. Like the Phoenix itself. Besides myself. I'm awesome and all that, but she was literally, just like the Phoenix, she literally blasted all of the material realm away because it's all fictional in me and her at that realm. And she was like ultra powerful. Like, she was, I'll put it like this, in her true form, she's stronger than me, I'll tell you that. Like, as far as like visually, I'm like a little weird. Like I don't look that strong, but I am. So she blasted the whole material realm because of relativity, and it didn't even affect that realm because it's not on the same realm. Like, she's like, hey, let me show you over here. This is realm I know you can go to now. And she was like, she blew the whole fucking thing away. That's my grandma for you, badass, man. Old CIA agent and all that shit, man. I'm telling you, she told me some stuff you don't. Like, there's some real racism in the government, man. Like, for example, when she's dead now, so I can say this. Like, but she's living forever with us. With Cyclops. My grandpa, literally, I can talk about this since we both passed, man. Like, my grandpa's literally Cyclops. But it's all related to me and stuff and all this stuff. But like, it gets me to know who I am through these things. Like Cyclops, he literally, my grandpa like had one eye. You can ask anybody in my family. He's not naturally one-eyed. It happened because of an accident that blew out his eye. And, like, my grandpa was a pretty awesome guy, actually. Like, I was lied to about him. Like, they didn't tell me the whole truth about my grandpa. He was cooler than they made him seem. I figured this all out later. But like, Jean Grey and Cyclops are together again. They're in a better place now, and they're we even got the plot to put them together and all that. Like, that's all I'm gonna say about it. And then I guess you could say I'm the son of Cable. It's quite an interesting character, but I feel like I'm Cable at the same time. Because my grandma was really like a mother to me, for real. She really was. Like, she was like closest thing to a mother I ever had. Like closer to me and my own mother, for real. That's interesting. But I always looked at it as like storm. And then literally the day this all happened, like the day before, it was huge thunderstorm. Like, it was triggered by me finally making videos after like months of not making videos. So I hadn't made a video since like way back in May. And all of a sudden I'm making a video again back in June, which is me playing League of Legends. And then like way later that month I start making videos again. But then they attack me with this shit. And then like, you know, I get a little bit better at dealing with it, and I talk about how you know, it's basically a weapon and all this. And then meanwhile they got my grandma on hospice trying to take her out because they know I could probably cure her because we get the hang of this shit. And then they take her out, like literally the day I create the power, so she wouldn't be able to work for her. Like they tried to take me out as well the same day. Yeah, I'm telling you, my grandma's strong, man. And she almost 90 years old, man. She's a Leo like me. Like, I was so close to my grandma, man. Like, you have no idea. Look, that's the closest grandma I ever had. Like a mother, I'm telling you, man. And that shit, I cried harder on my grandma than anybody that's passed so far. And then that same day, my aunt, like a relative of hers, her uncle passed. That very same day. Like, while we're on the phone, like talking, Skyping my uncle and stuff, she gets that news because the devil was out to get people, man. And then I hear about the shooting, and I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't know the shooting literally happened at that hour of when that happened. Like, the devil is busy, bro. This song just like
death, quickly closing its fist over the entire planet. And then we heard the rumors that the last scientists were working on a cure that would end the plague and restore the world.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then they do what they do, right? And then then watch the plot twist about my move from, oh yeah, let's cure the world, to I'm still gonna do that, but you can see the anger change.
World.
Watch.
Restore it. Why? I like the death. I like the misery. I like this world!
Yeah, like two sides to that coin, bro. It's a savior and a destroyer. All I'm say about it. These guys are lucky I did not get too angry, bro. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Like, God was angry enough, man. Like, literally, right after I made that video, there was like the most powerful single thunderbolt I've probably ever heard. I don't know. I can't say ever. I mean, just by itself, yeah. Usually it's like rolling thunder if I ever hear like ultra powerful thunder. Like, it would be like thunder that goes and it goes and goes. It's like doom, 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 doom. Like, that's like the most powerful as well. But this was just like that, but it was by itself. And it was like, you know, I was just like, I heard you, guy. And that was literally the only thunderbolt I heard this whole time. I feel like this perfectly aligns up. It's just like, it just aligns up. Like, it's how the fuck? Like, it's just God glorifying my grandma. He knew what was gonna happen. Like, that's when this is when I was going through this shit. You'll see, I'm gonna put that anime up here. I want to do it myself, though. I don't want to just repost. Like, that's why I like to do it my own way, because like I feel like the way they're glorifying the anime, and this dude's literally number 7 on the list. I didn't know that about him. Like, for example, Deku, he was number 7 on the Lucky 7. You know, like King is number 7, and he's way better than these people on this list when he got drafted. And I told you what he was. That's how I reacted when he went nuclear earlier, when I was doing something. Like, that's on this list as well. So I just watched these events all synchronize up. That's why the brain is actually really good at this type of thing. That's the strongest thing about our brain. It's syncing things up. It's how we create things. And this is why I'm talking about this when it started, of me having to deal with the shadow boxing, that cell phone and all that bullshit. It probably even started before that. And it started causing disruptions in the world again. I guess things were all kind of peaceful. because I told you like 2 months ago after that one event, you know, with the last eclipse in May, everything's been chill. You know, like I've been just doing my training. I've been able to do that kind of stuff, and then they shut down the Sprint towers, so we had to switch phones, and then they gave us these 5G phones, and I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. That thing, man. At first, I wasn't noticing it because like it took like a week for it to make me sick. Like it made me just smell different, like I said. And I was thinking something was wrong with me of that, and then after a week, it finally made me sick. And then it was really like deadly how powerful it was. And you know, that's when things started happening or whatever. So you call us like a, you know, like a schism type of thing. And all of a sudden, this comet's popping up. I'm watching all this shit going on. Especially over the past couple of days with that storm, like when I started making videos again. Because like I said, when I make videos, it causes effects as well. That's why I usually don't say much. Like, I'm not like these other people where they make it like a TV show. This ain't a TV show. It's reality, you know. It's real effects with these things, and so I try and be sparing. I don't think it happens as much when I do like repost other people's stuff, but you know, it's so very powerful because I made that recording while the thunder was going on in the background, so that's why I went all through the night, flash flood the whole fucking area. And then when I saw that there was probably going to be more storming after what happened with my grandma, I was like, crap, I was a little worried it was going to be really strong, you know. But that just confirms, you know, the relation between her name and the storm itself. Like, and the storm has a interesting connection to Jean Grey, the Phoenix, and all that stuff. And, so much I can say about it. It's just kind of starting to get emotional thinking about my grandma again. But yeah, the point is, you guys see it. I predicted that. I don't even want to say it. Like, I don't want to say I predicted a stupid fucking shooting. But also, like, what really happened is solar activity. I don't even want to be associated with those shootings that they do to try and bring down the positivity and bring everybody's vibe back down to negativity. It's disgusting, man. They always do these distractions, evil things. Like, I'll show you, like, the past 2 days, like, it's been both days, a big influx. And just these things that look like towel-shaped thunder that I showed. Well, I didn't get to show you that yet. This is one of the things I've been planning on showing y'all, but that's also why I haven't been making videos the past couple, recently. Like, right after I made that one video of me just wrecking it in that game because I'm the best in the world at it, all three of those games, really. There's two of them that I posted them. I was supposed to post more info. Supposed to post more info, but you know, I got interrupted and all that kind of stuff. I bet if I try and turn the volume, it's gonna hit the next go button. So, wow, surprised it didn't pop up. Like last time, that's why it didn't pop up, because it's usually a back button too. But just special for me to make me look dumb, they got rid of the back button. See, now it's back. Well, now I don't look so dumb, do I? Let's see. Yeah, like with this. Oh, this is already on to the next one. This is not the one I want to look at. But it just so happened I noticed that after I did that, he's talking about this coronal alignment with this massive coronal hole in the sun. And I'm thinking that's going to probably be a factor as well. See how long ago this was. I don't know if he posted this before I posted, but it's a full day now, so I can't tell. It's been an hour since that other thing, so probably around the same time, I'm guessing. I wasn't basing it around that. I'm pretty sure I went and looked after I had done it already, because like it takes me like a couple of hours or maybe an hour at best. Sometimes as little as like a half an hour, or I don't know, it just depends, because it's conceptualization part and there's actually doing it takes a little while. So It probably took me no more than a half an hour, I would imagine. It was a pretty average one. It wasn't very complicated. And some of these I have to go out and do stuff like, and yeah, it was pretty simple. So yeah, I'm kind of set to, and it wasn't very long either. Let me show you though. Oh yeah, there's a lot of these type of things that I've been doing. It's a very long list. That's why I was wanting to keep it. You know, I can. Oh, it's already there somehow. Yeah, that was a good quick swipe through. Usually it needs to load a little bit. And swipe a little bit, and then come on, get to the video. Oh, you slick bugger. I guess you can see the rest of these now. But yeah, there's a lot of it. Like, it could be rap streams, all kinds of stuff, anime stuff. Ugh. You know, a lot of this I get to the day and hour. Like, it's not. I usually don't talk about this kind of stuff, but as far as the shootings, I don't want to be involved with that kind of stuff. Like, so I want to encourage it by talking about it or something. The last thing I want to do is have some fucking freak watching my channel and then going out and doing something weird every time I post that I'm gonna do something. You know what I mean? Like, I always say he's gonna increase the power and then go out and shoot someone. You know, like, I don't want no fucking dumb shit like that. I'm mad to say ain't even letting this load. Like, there you go. There's a lot of this stuff. Like, I have an endless list of this shit. Like, it just gets too long. Like, these ones, you'll see how it's always on the like, lined up with the East Coast and stuff over and over and over again. That's when I started to realize it was aligning. Well, every time the sun aligned up with me, whether on this side of the planet or on the other side of the planet, it would do this effect. And so I started getting into the hour. But this is the reason I can get this to a non-midday hour, which is what he usually does, midday or midnight, is because I create a new power, you know, so when I do that, it's going to happen regardless of what time of day it is, and that's how I can get very unique with the timing on some of these occasions. And then it's just like when God makes a move, you know, like Exodus, you know, now we have to observe that because you're going to see echoes of it through time. And that's why it's good to know these days and all that kind of stuff. It's a very long list, as you can tell. I'm trying to get to this one part so you can see. Yeah, he stole his power at that one point. Then all this stuff starts happening. But really, it's just me versus me, versus me versus me. I'm trying to make a TV show out of that. Trying to symbolize the different intensities of that. At this point, it's like gotta be a pretty intense test that they've got me literally like dealing with my own power at the highest scale. Like, fucking Blast popped up. Like, fucking Blast popped up. Are you kidding me? Man? Him, who else? I mean, Saitama himself back in the fucking shit. This is some serious shit going on right now. This song is actually kind of loud. Yeah, it's that one song. Let me just go to the next one. That one's like out of alignment with the other songs as far as volume. It's too high. Alright, let me show you that. You see? And then notice when it happens. 17, around that time. That's around noon for me. See how it kicks up around that? That was before. That was simply from that day knowing I was going to make a video and some point of it. So the energy was flowing to a much more higher level. That shows you the difference between me not making anything, not doing anything, compared to me just doing that. And then it caused volcanic activity at Yellowstone. Unfortunately, that's why I don't, that's why I don't do this type of stuff. But, Actually, it's supposed to be this other part where it shows the more recent one. because there was 2 of them. Either that or this is related to the, yeah, this is related to the first one. This is like right before, this is when that storm hit. Wonder. Just really wonder. Yeah, this is a 3rd. I must not have added it. Let me go to his page real quick. About 100% sure I did not add it somehow. I know I liked it at the very least. What feedback the hell they talking about? This man page up all this. Jeez, could you go any slower though? Walmart internet. Alright. Oh, that's why I fucking was so slow. I'm about 100% sure of this guy. Not what you think. Yeah, that was it, I think. I think that's it. Yeah, that's a newer one. And you'll see in here that about the same time, the very next day, same thing happens. And he always be wondering why it happens instantaneous. It's because it's a flat earth. The shit is right above us. It's not traveling a very far distance. And that's what makes it scary to me. This far away, I mean, it'd be scary too because of the massive scaling. And if it ever gets out of balance, like, and there's just things that happen in the heavens, it's just signs of it affecting things. You see, watch, when it happens twice, they're around the same fucking time, man. You see, and that's like it intensified the next day. He even says that. It intensifies. And that's because obviously I was a little emotional that day, but also because I created that power. So I became probably a little bit more unstable, and the power really shouldn't have been that much greater because on the first day it's not that big. It just snowballs over time. But I wouldn't be surprised if bigger effects happening today, but usually the big effects do happen that day. But this is all related to my grandma too. This is God's way of glorifying her. I'm sure she understands what it means now that she's on the other side and she can see that, you know, who I am more than she knew here. And like I said, my grandma on the south, she blew away the whole material realm, man. I'm telling you. OP like the Phoenix, man. I ain't never seen nobody do some shit like that. Like, I've been hit with a planet before. It's a certain half of my body can't be destroyed. Like, half of me got blown away by it, and the other half, like, I remember it came out of nowhere. It was so fast. It was like just a few seconds to hit. I mean, just like a second, really. Like, I was like, I saw it. It was really small, and then it just hit. It went from small to big, and like the time it took me to say, "Oh my!" As soon as I was about to say G, you know, it was like, and I felt it just instantly, like, obliterate the other half of me. I didn't even feel the pain. And another half of me was still there, and I could hear the music, not the music, but the sound of it grinding up against the earth. It didn't break the earth, it grinded up against it. It was massive, whatever the fuck it was. It was just a that shit grinded across the earth for God knows how long. And then, but when she did it, I didn't lose half my body though. I guess it wasn't as strong as that blast, but it blew away all material realm. I don't know. Maybe it was at different power levels. I don't know. It's kind of like, I can't remember which one came first, but they used to have some weird ass rings, I'll tell you that. But let me see. I remember a guy put me, before I knew I was amplifying the sun and all this stuff, he took me by the sun and had me create this amplifier, this big giant amplifier as big as the sun right next to it. And I was like, what the fuck? It scared the fuck out of me because I thought the sun was like really, really big, but it didn't look that big. Anyways, you know, so I was right, you know, like, let me let him talk so maybe he can say it.
In solar activity, yet another
Yeah, there we go. It's gonna say increase.
First here at the website, quick look at the GOES X-ray flux at the Space Weather Prediction Center. You can see, like yesterday, we're seeing an increase in solar activity. Yet another moderate solar flare. You can see a slow incline in the overall solar activity. Looking at the planetary.
See the incline compared to even the day before.
K index, you can see yet another minor geomagnetic storm, and this was within the last 24 hours. So solar activity is definitely on the rise. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano.
2 days in a row.
About the same as it looked yesterday. Quite a bit of dark blue, which represents magma intrusion. But looking at the seismograph here, right in the center of Yellowstone
Yeah,
Lake,
that's an increase.
that is a lot of earthquake activity. Very small earthquake activity, but you can see what looks like dozens of red vertical lines, and each one of those represent earthquake activity.
That's all I'm gonna say about it. And lucky I didn't get too angry about it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not like I would do anything like that anyway. It's just not in me. I'm not like a villain or anything like that. Wait till y'all see this next video. I'll just tell you if you ain't see it already. Like, they got this shit going the opposite direction, and it's just like, to me, that's just them trying to like pretend like they're on a ball or something like that, when it's really just the North Pole playing backwards. Like, it's totally opposite. Like, for example, like if you're on the Earth and you're just looking at the sun, it's flying by one side to the other, it doesn't matter which half you're on. It's not going to change the way it orbits. It's going to orbit the same direction. And this is not at the perfect North Pole, like, so, I mean, it's at the North, it's as close to the North Pole as you're gonna get, but, like, this is at the South. It's supposed to be the South and the North, for, like, it's not like the orbit really ever gets to that perfect of a orbit. Like, that's another one of their problems. It's like, for example, like, if it did, for example, the North Pole would move a lot. Like the North Pole sun, not the sun, the Polaris, the North Pole star, it would change. It would change position, like just as much as the sun, but it doesn't do that. Like, it hardly moves at all, like, if at all. Like, and it's only moving relative to the actual North Pole, the energetic North Pole. But if you want to find that absolute location, you always follow that star, and it'll lead you to the North Pole. What we know is the North Pole. And we just don't know where the North Pole is going to end up at. I mean, the magnetic one is always moving. It's got to do with energetic fluxes and stuff. Anyways, yeah, we'll talk about that in a little while. Get some more daggers into the devil today. But yeah, I got that to the hour. I mean, I think we can put that on the list as well. I mean, that's after 2 months of not doing it. And the last time the same thing happened, they did all these shootings and stuff. And there's this heavenly event that just so happened to line up directly when I did it. Very interesting, that's all I have to say. And there was a little difference that day too that probably made, like, oh, I'd love to show you what the moon is too, bro. Like the moon was like a magnifying glass that night. Like, I'm gonna show it to you on all Skycam. I've been just trying to comprehend what the fuck I saw. Like, it looked like a magnifying glass. It basically made the heavens amplified. And it just kind of shrunk a little bit. It didn't actually become darker or anything. It just looked like it shrunk. Like, it's weird. You'll have to see what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's got this, right, like usually you might want to check out some of the other stuff that I've been putting up. It's a lot of it. Especially the one that they censored, like, might want to, like, there's a link to that in the next video. But in that one, I mostly talk about my grandma and how they basically assassinated her. It's pretty bad when you gotta assassinate a 90-year-old person. Like they really tried hard, but it's pretty bad. They couldn't take her out. Oh man, my grandma was too much for me, man. That's peace, grandma. That's peace.